But the way people treat you versus when I'm driving my work truck is so different.
Yeah.
And while in some capacity it's great, they make these assumptions that, oh, you must be an arrogant.
Love that, bro. So let's jump straight into the car stuff, right?
Sure.
Because I'm looking at the, flipping cars, flipping houses. So Michael pulls up in this bad looking McLaren, dude. I'm like, tell me it ain't so, dude. You bought another freaking car. So let's hear about this venture, man. How you fell into it. Why the McLaren? And let's take this thing out on the road, bro.
It was kind of my dream car when I was little. There was I think it was a PlayStation game. It was called Need for Speed.
Yeah.
Right. Fastest car in the game was the McLaren. And there was one person that had one here locally, and I was looking to buy it from him, and I got to drive in it with him, and it felt literally like a roller coaster.
Yeah.
I mean, it gave you that feeling in your stomach, like, whoa, like I'm dropping.
Giddy, like
it
a
was
little
wild.
kid. Yeah.
So there's a difference between, just a material item and then something that's truly an experience.
Right.
Anyways, it was amazing. So for the last 6-7 months, I looked for, I buy deals, man. I want to buy something that I have equity into, where I can enjoy it for a little bit, sell it for what I bought it for, or ideally sell it for more.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, there's two people involved. There's the buyer and the seller. And if the seller is like, a multimillionaire and he's okay with taking a little bit less, then that's on him. If there's somebody that's in a precarious position and, you want to offer them something and they're willing to accept it because it helps them then and there, there's time value of money. They'd rather sell it now for a little bit less than 3 months than what they ideally would want for it. Right. You find opportunity within the marketplace. It's what people on Amazon do, right? They buy products wholesale and they sell it for a little bit more. So anyways, I just wanted to buy that car, and I flew down to Florida and picked it up, got a little vacation out of it. Yeah. And it's been fun. Feels like you're mini famous. A lot of people like, can we take photos, take a video? What do you do for a living? A lot of fun stuff.
Yeah.
So it's
congrats, dude. That's awesome.
Thanks.
It's one of those things, man, like you got to treat yourself, right? Because there is times you can become so consumed in this journey, right? Which it's worth it. The journey's all worth it.
The journey, 100%.
Because you're growing, you're discovering yourself, finding your purpose, right? But you got to sometimes sit back, you got to treat yourself, right? Not only does it build self-confidence, right? But it's a way to celebrate, right? And if we don't take the time to celebrate those small wins and those small moments, we're going to miss the mark, right? And we're always going to have our head down. We're going to be grinding our tail off until we're 80 years old on our deathbed, right? So you gotta learn to celebrate the victories and just enjoy the journey, right? Yeah,
100%. I almost didn't buy this car because when I had I fixed up a Bentley a couple months ago, and I ended up selling that as well. But the way people treat you versus when I'm driving my work truck is so different. Yeah. And while in some capacity it's great, they make these assumptions that, oh, you must be an arrogant person if you're driving this type of car. Which is crazy. They're almost projecting their negative sentiment towards you for no real good reason at all, because they don't know you. Yeah. But it also opens a lot of doors, because people that might pull into a car dealership, they don't want to have a conversation. But if you pull up in that car, well, you have to be clearly good at some things in order to obtain that level of car, if you will. Yeah. So it's interesting. But I do it for the one, it makes me money. Two, I really enjoy it.
Right. And a lot of people might say, oh man, this guy's blowing his money on expensive cars, right? But they don't understand the mind and the heart behind that.
Yeah, exactly.
They don't know that this truly is an investment, right? Not only are you buying it and capturing equity where you can make money on the sale on the back end, but guess what? There's people in big cities like Miami who buy these exotic cars and they rent them out on a daily rate, making buku dollars, right?
My buddy talked about that recently as well, yeah.
It's all about your mindset and your perspective towards what you're utilizing the tools, right?
Yeah.
It's a vehicle, just like real estate investing is a vehicle, building wealth through stocks. It's a vehicle for building your future vision, right?
100%. And people need to realize that we all have the same 24 hours, but how we use them is critically important. So that takes some bandwidth from me in the evenings to make those phone calls about those cars, to research them throughout the day. There's also a lot of risk. The transmission could explode on this thing tomorrow. Mind you, I do fortunately, one thing that was appealing to this is it comes with an aftermarket warranty. But at the end of the day, there is inherent risk in everything. Yeah. You can only do, I think it's 4 cars a year before you need to get a dealership license. Yep. You got to pay your taxes on it. You got to register the vehicle. So there's a lot of time. There are some resources. There are some risks. But that's what, if you're gonna, like, if someone's just handing you $100, you should squint your eyes and raise an eyebrow, because you're getting that for free. And there's no risk. There was no time involved, or in time invested in involvement. So there has to be some resources you are giving in order to get.
And I think that's a good thing too, bro. Like
one other thing, I'm sorry, I was going to say, is how much you can learn even if you fail. I have definitely failed, and they say you learn more from your failures. I don't necessarily know if that's true, but I definitely learn from my failures.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm stubborn and I'll replicate those failures, which is stupid, but it could be because of the timing, or it could be just one tweak I need to make.
Yeah.
Those little differences, and even if you're learning, or if you're losing a little bit of cash, it's just accepting what you're willing to lose. One of my favorite authors, Tim Ferriss, he said it's called
4-Hour Work Week.
Yeah, but there's something that's called fear setting.
Yeah.
So when you go into an adventure, what is the worst thing that could happen?
Yeah.
And if you're like, all right, the most I could lose, or the time or money or whatever it is this. Could you accept that loss? You have to then decide if you're okay with it or not. And that's with like any and everything in life, man, from relationships to business to whatever you're starting and whatever you're doing.
Yeah.
There's going to be risk involved.
So a big